But we'll see what they go for. We're about to jump into the game anyway. First game coming up of the Rainbow Six ESL Premiership is going to be between Fable and Horizon here on Border.
So yeah, looking at Border again, it is going to be one of them maps which was brought out in the second season of Rainbow Six. It was brought out with Valkyrie and Blackbeard, who again are also very good operators for this particular map, as Valkyrie cameras are very useful in most maps, but Border quite useful whenever we are talking about different types of bomb sites that they'll want to gain more intel from, such for example an upstairs defense, possibly a ventilation unit camera out on that big massive tower. You typically see some cameras out there, which helps with any Blackbeards wanting to push up that single window, which he's notorious for, of course, playing there. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what kind of strats we're looking at for Border.
Yeah, when you were touching on the Blackbeard just then, I just thought, well, that's such a big pick because there are so many windows and angles you can get through with him that if you can shut him down, then, well, basically you're in dreamland, so as things might speak. However, let's see how Horizon go for this setup. If anything surprises you, do shout out, because I'm pretty sure we'd all love to hear it. It looks like a more standard defense so far. I'm not 100% sure where those mirror windows are going to go down, but it looks like they're pushing quite deep towards the edge here as well. More trying to keep that defensive line. We spoke about this as well. Some teams like to play more aggressively forward on this defensive side. Some like to sit back closer to the point and not take the risk.
Seems to be that they're orientating more towards defending that office rather than that security. I say that, but we already do see Max shotgunning out that security wall, which he's then going to put that mirror window down on that box, double wall, as I do call it. That's typically what we call it, is going to be that box, which then gives complete control for that defending team to stop any attackers wanting to push in towards that security room. And then also equally looking at the office, I would imagine that we're going to be seeing the other mirror window placed in there, which then gives complete control over that office as well.
So pretty solid setup coming so far. What do you think of the approach that we're going to see coming through from Fable here? Knowing Horizon have got this setup, what's the common strat to counter it?
Well, already I'm seeing a Ying, which...
mate, you are not a fan of Ying, but I'm the world's biggest fan of Ying.
No, I've seen it too much on Pro League the other night. It was just unbearable to watch. But yeah, I'm an interesting pick with the Ying. That automatically tells me that is going to be that box push pushing in towards this A bomb site. As again, Ying's going to be great with clearing out possibly that small cupboard, which you could possibly see our mirror window there. And also the Ying will work very well for actually yinging out this mirror window and then having your Thermite to go and get open the box, as again that bandit, who as we do see is going to go for them bandit tricks, will then be flashed. You won't be able to see where the Thermite's actually putting his charge, but as we did see, the twitch is going to come into play.
I think he actually missed taking the mirror window out there with the one shot he did manage to pull off.
Yeah, but I think he did get it.
Oh, he did get it, sorry. Yeah, I'm a liar.
Yeah, he did get it. Oh, we're going to see some aggression coming in from Nasher. That's exactly what I was expecting from Fable with their big team players, which again is going to be Nasher, like we did touch upon, but then Rum is going to get the immediate trade out. Reaction then is going to put it back in towards his team Faber, taking out 2mass on that flank. That is going to be the Ayla, big operator down for the defensive side.
Lots of a push coming through on the west balcony here as Fable are looking to start the Premiership off right with the first take. Still struggling to get onto this point because Rum is on point himself with that angle that he's got locking down, denying any entry onto the point as it stands. But with a few smokes being tossed in, they're going to try and go for it, and go for a cheeky plant just inside. They actually drop the diffuser as out comes the C4 from 2max, dropping down Noxa, and Fable are on the back foot in a 3 versus 2.
I would say that they maybe rushed that a little too quick, in my opinion. I think that they still had a minute on the board, of course, where they could have done a bit more droning, trying to get some more picks onto the board, of course. And we do see Reaction getting a great kill there on the 2max. He is going to go for the Ash Launcher, isn't going to miss, but actually is going to get it. But at the moment, that smoke playing behind that half wall is going to be the killer for Fable, as we do see Rum stand up, misses his shots, then we are going to see the Jaeger come around, and it's just going to be shots fired out. Reaction is going to get the better off Rum, which does put it down to the Jaeger. 2v1, Jaeger is going to push down, but Tristan the 1v1 is going to get the pistol shot under Reaction. 1v1 Thatcher versus Jaeger, as we're going to see Rami just come around the corner and get the kill on the Tristan, and Fable are going to go 1-0 up in the first map.
Unlucky turnaround time there from Tristan. Literally looked away as Rami pushed around the corner, but Fable will be going in the history books as the first team to take a round in the Rainbow Six ESL Premiership. Can they make it a 2-0? Or will Horizon have their own aggressive push to come through?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. So we are going to see Fable's first defense off the map. So it is going to be a ventilation room and workshop. Like we were talking about this earlier, some teams do prefer to go for that second pick bomb site to possibly throw the attackers off of picking particular attackers such as Buck and Sledge, who are great for attacking ventilation room. It seems to have worked, as Horizon have not brought any destructibility operators, of course. Looking at this kind of defense that they're going to try and go for. I'm seeing a castle, which automatically leads me to know that they're going to be playing inside that bathroom area, more than likely, as we do see Noxa go for the impact holds. And again, bathroom is going to be one of them great anchor positions for many defenders. So it's going to be interesting to see how Horizon can cope with getting rid of him.
Yeah, rightly so. You were speaking about that earlier on, saying you basically lock yourself in there because there is no way onto that point except through that door, and if it's castled up, you're just making it even harder to get anything going in there. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a grenade bounce through the door and you manage to catch a guy and down him, and then you can rush through quite safely. But the odds of getting that, quite rare, and you're wasting so much time there trying to deal with one person when really you should be focusing your attention on either dealing with the roamers upstairs or going for the bomb points themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that I'm quite intrigued about is that we see an Echo being picked. I never see Echo picked for border protectoring. Maybe Fable have ran this a couple of times. They've figured out that the Echo could be very valuable in the right hands, possibly play Echo upstairs off-site with the Echo drone possibly. And again, that Echo drone does take quite a lot of skill to use, and a lot of people say, oh, it's just an Echo drone. Hitting the planter at the right moment could be the make or break of a round for many defenders, and I'm interested to see, is the Echo going to be used on site in the last few minutes of the round, stopping the plants, or is it possibly going to be used as a support for some of these roamers? So let's see where it does go.
And once again, despite the bomb point being downstairs, they are going to have to try and fight out this top side once more. They know the wall's reinforced, so Tumas is expecting someone to be on this top floor. The bullets flying out that doorway will confirm his suspicions. Now the problem is here once again is if you spend too much time trying to deal with the roamers upstairs, you really start to rush yourself.
Yeah.
And often we see teams lose either based on time or because they're forced to make mistakes in the final 30 to 45 seconds of the round. If they can't get in here and clear this out realistically in the next 30 seconds, that roamer's been a success and the defenders can just pull back.
Yeah, that's one thing about pushing roamers, is that you have to make sure you kill the roamers. If you're going to put a lot of resources in, such as flashbangs, ash grenades, getting rid of them roamers, and it doesn't happen for you, they somehow end up killing your attacking force, that is going to be a GG from there, because you just can't come back with having 3 men on the board against 5 and still having roamers up top, because either way, you're not going to have enough people to start taking the bomb site. But already we do see Rum playing that Blackbird. He is notorious for playing, does pick up the first kill onto the Ayla.
Got himself a couple of frags last round, going to start off the scoring this time round. 12 will trade one back onto Tristan, so it's one apiece so far, and Tumax runs in, does get tagged as he goes to run behind the wall, but gets saved by Tumax. So the boys, with the very similar name, going to be teaming up once more, clearing out this top point, but now they've only got 1 minute and 10 to play with, and they've still got to assault downstairs.
Yeah, at this stage, they do have the top floor control, but of course, like we were talking about, Horizon were expecting going for that armory and archives area, of course, not the ventilation room and workshop. So now not having that capability off that destructible floor with the buck and the sledge is going to be a big hinder for them. Getting rid of these anchors, especially looking at, we do have 2 shotguns being played here. We do see Max pick a kill on to Nox. I think that might be man-made holes coming out from Fable that have just gave Horizon a bit of an edge. And at the moment, it is going to be coming down to that last 30 seconds. We see Rami peek down, get a kill on the Joker now. Is going to be put it back into a 2v3 in the last 25 seconds.
Blackbeard. Peek from the Blackbeard comes through. Rum actually misses the kill shot though, so he will keep himself alive tucked in this corner, but they knew exactly where he was, and upstairs it was a super easy kill from Tumax. Now they find themselves in the 3v1. Nothing really going to stop Horizon here, so our suspicions will be confirmed. It looks like this round's going all the way towards almost a one-on-one. However, that shotgun kill will delay. Standing's a little bit longer, going for another one. Gets the knockdown as well. One more. Can he do this all the way? He's going to try and go for the shot with the pistol, but fails it out just about. As Ron will stand up for his team once more and take another few kills in this round. He must be that top fragger by now by a clear mile.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what the scores are looking like at the moment with 4 kills. 4 and 4 for Max and Rum. Funny thing about Max and his gamer tag, whenever he was choosing it, he deliberately chose his gamer tag so I would get confused with saying 2 Mas and 2 Max.
Twitter just loves... I mean, to be fair, so do I after the start of this broadcast. And it's not just me, it's the players, the community. Yeah. We do it out of love.
It's a strong community. That's one thing. Xbox are a strong community. Even
banter community.
Even though we're known as being toxic, I wouldn't say it's the right word, but we are a strong community whenever it does come down to it.
Good way to get everyone to never play Rainbow Six on Xbox, mate. Great job. However, let's go into this third round and see who can break the deadlock now that they're at 1-on-1. From what we've seen in those first couple of rounds, like, it was pretty close on both sides. Neither side looked decisively in control. And on this map, in fact, there was a Twitter poll that went out from the 6 Twitter account today, 6 Invitational. Yeah, they did a 57% poll for Fable and 43% for Horizon. I think this was actually the closest of the 4 games that we saw. So, you know, the fans are right. It's actually a really close game so far. However, we've only seen a couple of rounds of the potential 8+ that we can go for. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Looking at some of the matches that I did see for the first week, I definitely would say that Horizon versus Fable would be the one that I couldn't call an outright winner, because both these sides are very similar in their kind of play styles. They do play aggressive operators and they do like to get in your face a lot, and it definitely shows that both of them are an equal match size. So let's see who can pull out and take the lead in this game, as we do see then it's going to be, I believe it's going to be another box push, looking at the operators once again, Yang, and also the FIREMAN, of course. And let's see if they can recreate what they did inside the first round.
Yeah, exactly what we saw a couple of rounds ago, actually, was the assault starting on the south balcony and just working the way through the building, trying to drone it out, find anyone who may be lurking around.
Seems to be that mirror we see again on that office, which is going to then probably more than likely scare Fable away from pushing that side, as typically we see them going for that box push. And let's see if they're going to be ready for the Twitch room. We do see Bandit pre-aiming that door, ready for that Twitch room coming in, which again, that was the complete downfall off that last round, of course, which that Twitch room just, as we do see, going in, but we are going to see Bandit be ready for it this time. And that is going to be the mirror window, going to stay where it is, unless we do see some pretty smart FIREMAN tricks coming out from Noxa, but I don't think it is going to be that case.
Yeah, pretty solid start to the round by Horizon so far, holding down the fort pretty well.
Yep, as we do see, I think they're maybe going to go for the office, knowing that they can't really push that box safely, because that mirror window is going to give them that Bandit a lot of aggressive opportunities, going for the different peek outs, going for the different run outs. So maybe office might be the play here, but again, that's going to be down to the IGL if he sees fit. But at the moment, Horizon have got their angles on lockdown, ready for anybody pushing in towards that corner. If Max does, possibly if Max does look down, he will see Twitch there. No, Twitch's going to be inside the break room the way it looked there. I thought he maybe just stand up and shoot him outright, but as we do see, Ash then coming below and is going to go for the other different way to get rid of the mirror window, which is going to be Ashing from below. As we do see Rami picking up the first kill on the 2mas, who is then going to be that roamer, but then we are going to see Reaction crash, unfortunately.
Or DC to come back into the next round and see how they can do with that one. However, 2max gets a kill onto Nasher. That's one of their MVPs down and out of the round. 2max is more than aware where this next aggressor is, sees him lurking around the corner and is going to peek that angle and run. He really likes these vertical shooting points, because he did it last round as well, where he was just watching from above constantly, waiting for some intel or for someone to step in his line of sight. But speaking of line of sights, a headshot comes through from Joker onto Twirl. And Fable's attack in this third round seems to be falling apart at the seams.
Yep, having that Twitcher not being able to get rid of that mirror window, as we did see, this has now forced Fable into pushing this office, which I actually think this is the area that Horizon want them to push, as they're going to be more capable of defending it from this office side. We do see Rami, though he does get the kill on the 2max, so it is going to be that mirror. We are going to see then that roamer Jaeger coming up behind. Now the smoke grenades are going to slow that down. For Tristan now to go for the flank. Noxa is going to run in the sight line off him, and then we're also going to see Tristan pick up the kill on the Rami. Tristan's going to finish up with a double.
Great push there by Tristan as well. In-game leader, showing those leadership abilities and leading from the front, getting him the double frag at the end. And Horizon pull ahead to 2-1. It's looked pretty good so far for Horizon. They had a really solid defense at the start of the round as well, denying all the entry gadgets and basically just making sure they could hold down those angles. And I think with Siege, it's very important to be patient. And we actually saw it from Fable early on, because a couple of the members set up some claymores and just lay down for about 30 seconds. And it was like, you guys have got the onus to move here. It's the defenders who have got to stay put. But unfortunately, with the DC coming through, they are going to rehost by the looks of it. But we go back in with 2-1. So Horizon in a pretty good spot so far.
Yep, definitely looking at Horizon with that last defense. They definitely learnt from their mistakes. We've seen them know that Twitch, getting that mirror window, was a big factor of Fable winning that first round. So now getting rid of that Twitch drone, stopping that push coming out from Fable, Horizon did manage then to take that comfortable round victory. We'll be interested to see how Fable now are going to cope with their strats, to see if they're going to change anything up from their previous first round, which they didn't win. So yeah, we'll just see what happens.
What do you think in terms of what we expected? Because we spoke a bit about the players and who we expected to be the standout performers, and Nasher was one name we had down. Been relatively quiet so far in this game.
I don't agree with him possibly playing Twitch. I think possibly maybe a nade operator would do him great, like a Buck or a Sledge, which is definitely one thing that they are missing from the lineup. I would say that Buck could be a big factor.
On this map especially.
Yeah, especially Border with the vertical gameplay we have. Again, even getting rid of them mirror windows. He can go down in towards then that ventilation room and workshop and then just start destroying the floor, and that gets rid of that mirror window and also gets rid of the bandit playing in there.
Yep.
Also clears out that half wall, which we did see Run play behind in the first round. And just overall general, Buck's great for getting rid of any anchors, especially such as a map like Border with lots of anchors, mirrors, echoes we've seen as well being played, which is a bit of a shock for me still. So yeah, Buck, I'm surprised why they're not bringing it.
I'm somewhat surprised as well. Like, even you said that the sledge would have been a great option in case of the Buck wasn't really a desirable pick, but they chose not to go for either. So far, Blackbeard we've seen a couple of times go through in this as well. We expected him to be quite popular, but the attacking otherwise, the Twitch has been okay, and I get the idea behind the Twitch, but like you say, you know, fool me once, that's basically what's happened. They caught them out the first time, and immediately afterwards they were like, right, we know what's going on now. We're not going to go for this again. We're going to make sure that drone goes down, and they anticipated it perfectly.
Another thing about Border is that if you are going to bring a Ying, the one thing you have to make sure is to bring Habana. Because bringing a Habana allows you to then shoot the Habana pellets up, which gets rid of all the ADSs, which then allows Ying to go ham with them Candela devices, of course. Quite surprised that we're not seeing any Habana on the side of Fable, as she's been one of the most picked operators throughout the entire year since it was released. I'm pretty sure she is. She's just free speed with 2 great guns and a great secondary as well to go along with it. You can't really beat them 2 guns. They're probably my favourite ranked guns to play with. They're one of the best, and again, just having that gadget off destructibility, doing a job, which also FIREMAN can do, who was always, of course, one of the main stable picks throughout the entire year one. But with her being brought in, she's definitely proven why she is one of the better operators in the game. Yeah, and it's a lot of it's about that range safety as well. With Thermite, you know, still a great pick, but you have to get so close, you can risk being run out on if you're not careful. Whereas Habana, we spoke about especially
it a few
looking
times.
at that mirror window.
Exactly, and if you can pop that mirror window off and maybe even catch out, like you say, with a buck someone downstairs, it's almost like what we're seeing from these teams is a slight drop in coordination at moments when it should be most crucial. We have seen some good pushes come in, but for example, I think we saw Horizon panic a little bit, or was it Fable on that push?
I think it was Fable. They got panicked, didn't get the mirror window off. They had to rotate the office.
Yeah, they tried to go in for everything with the smoke and try and get the plant down, and you know, as soon as you hear that diffuser go down, you're like, oh, well, there's only one place it can possibly be planting, because we've just seen them come in. C4, easy kill going across to you, and the diffuser's inside the zone, so it makes it even harder for you to catch. It just seems a bit scrappy, a bit forced. Maybe rein it in a little bit and play things a bit slower and more calculated, and maybe they'll be able to win this one out.
Especially with the kind of devices that defenders do have for slowing down different pushes, smoke grenades, C4s. That box is going to be a C4 death trap for most attackers pushing in, of course. So yeah, like we were saying, just more thought out strategy and take more time with the amount of time they do have available, of course.
Yeah, well, where do you think they go to from here then? We've seen a couple of bomb points come through so far. Most have been upstairs.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we see anything crazy come out? Because we saw, of course, them pick the second most favourable bomb point, as you called it, compared to the first.
Yeah.
But it's okay. 1-on-1. Now it's at 2-on with Horizon in the lead. Anything kind of crazy you think they could pull off here to try and get an advantage?
I can see Fable going back upstairs now. They're going to go for their first defensive site on that armory, and I'm sure that's probably where they're going to start off. Okay, downstairs didn't work. Let's have a go upstairs, see where we go from there.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a bit of a break as well. Let's have a talk about Skyscraper.
Yeah.
It's not your favourite map in the world. You told me several times. However, what's your big thoughts on that one? How do you think it will go?
It's hard to call because I've never seen. I've never seen both the teams play Skyscraper that I know of. I don't think I have, and it's one of the maps I don't really like because there's not a lot of drop patches. I believe there's 1 drop patch in the entire map, which is a bit crazy, and game developer-wise, making a map with only 1 drop patch, which is a big throw-off for a lot of teams not being able to go for that one sole objective. Typically, you look at maps such as Chalet and Oregon. Okay, step 1, let's get the hatches off. Can't say that in Skyscraper. Yeah. Step 1's going to be get inside the geisha, which is a really hard task to get through. Yeah, of course.
Some of the defensive setups on there are crazy as well, and it gets more creative every single time we see it, I swear. The one thing I'm aware of is you can't actually put barbed wire down in front of the window in there because of the mats.
You can.
Can they do that now? They sorted it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So, yeah.
My knowledge shining through.
Yeah, it wasn't the best tool whenever you couldn't put any barbed wire in there, but since that change, it has greatly appreciated that little bit of extra barbed wire for that quick double window jump in. Yeah. But Geisha is going to be that main way for many attackers to start pushing in towards.
Well, we'll talk about that map a lot more when we come onto it. Of course, we are back in. Although, as you can see, the score is reset to 0-0, but just above that, you can see that it is currently 2 to Horizon and 1 to Fable Esports.
Yep. Going back upstairs like we were talking about, that is... we expected Fable to be going, and at the moment it seems to be pretty pretty standard reinforcements again. That office wall is going to get reinforced, that fountain wall is going to get reinforced. Mirror window going to go down the fountain like we did see Horizon play it, staple mirror. Another different mirror placement you can do is where we see Nasher reinforcing at the moment. A possible mirror window could be placed down there, which gives them a little bit more comfort inside the bomb site, of course. Only downside is, of course, that it can be destructible from below, which is a big throw-off for many teams, but it's really team preference. That's what it comes down to for most of your mirror windows. My worry about putting both mirror windows on that side means that the other side is pretty exposed, and it is such a strong position to have that west balcony covered with a mirror window that trying to put both on there, I understand the reasoning of wanting to essentially have a light defense over there because you have so many gadgets set up, and then you basically stack 2 or 3 on the other side towards the west balcony, but you don't get that peak advantage, and all it takes is a bit of well droning coming out from the other side, and you might find yourself in a lot of trouble. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You know, looking at putting yourself in more of an awkward position, it does make it a lot harder for you coming back for many rotates, as many attackers know that you're going to go for the rotates, and they basically just sit back. As we do see Tumas getting the first frag on their reaction. I'm surprised that there's going to be no mirror window there, as we did see Horizon. Instead, Fable had decided to opt for the one inside that small cubby, which again is destructible from below with a buck, but no buck on the side of Horizon for this push.
If they really wanted to go aggressive, they could make use of the Hibana to go for it, but it feels like a wasted place to put her when it's essentially just a floor breach in that case. You want to get this Hibana upstairs and start breaking things open from elsewhere. However, she's going to head downstairs. Knows that she's safe from behind, so keeps hold of that Claymore as well. Very, very useful when you're trying to push into a point. In fact, Claymore would have been their greatest saviour when Tristan gunned them down just a couple of rounds ago.
Yep, again, Claymore is always a great gadget. It's great for putting the flanks on. It's not the hardest gadget for a defender to get rid of, as it's very easy to see the triple lines, of course. We all know this. We see it in ranked a lot. Triple lines, you know, okay, it's Claymore. What angle can I do to shoot that? I'm sure that's probably what did happen with some of that rotates coming out from Tristan. I'm quite surprised that we're not seeing possibly Twirl playing downstairs. Again, Pulse does have that great destructibility with that Nitrocell and that Pulse Scanner combo that we've seen so much on Border, of course, playing down inside that ventilation unit. Can get a very easy pick onto an unsuspecting attacker pushing in towards some of that bomb sites. And also, security is destructible, as some people don't know. A lot of attackers like to push in from security. They might stop, go on their drone, but at the moment we're seeing more aggression coming out from Tumas, playing that Ash. He's right up close to that single door, and let's see what he can do with that Ash Echo.
See how close he can push. He has got 2 anchors watching his angle, though, so it'd be very risky. And the third not too far away. In fact, if he's just a second across, another couple of pixels, and he would have been in view. But I think Tumas is probably a little bit cornered here. However, Nasher is going to open the scoring once again after a very quiet minute or so. Tumas does push in and take down Nasher. That's one of their sharpshooters down and out. Fable find themselves with 3 members against 4, and however, Fable are now going to go down to 2. Horizon pushing in with the 4. They've got 10 seconds to go. They've got to make their move, and they will do so and win this round, taking it to 3-1.
Yep, great push coming out from Horizon. They seen the opportunity that they had the man advantage when they knew that they did kill Nasher playing about that A anchor area, which then allowed them to go for them aggressive plays. I believe Bandit, he didn't have a clue that somebody was going to be knocking at that front door and got sprayed down by Tumas, and then just from there, Joker then pushed in as well through that A bomb site, was exposed from then to the Pulse. He was exposed coming in from that B bomb site, and then it just fell apart from there for Fable.
Finally, we're going to see a buck getting picked up on the side of Fable here. Nasher opting to take that one into this map. I like it because we spoke about the verticality and all the different views that you can get with this, even taking the Ying as well. So they're very much so going for a destroy and push. It seems to be the strategy.
They seem to have changed the Twitch out for the buck. I would say that's definitely the right call, because I've had issues with getting rid of that mirror window. The only reason why me, as a player, would only pick Twitch is to specifically counter a mirror window you're having trouble with. Buck, he does the same job as the Twitch, as that mirror window particularly is destructible, of course. And again, just bringing the buck as well for this bomb site A and B for that ventilation room and workshop. It is also destructible, as we do see then that brown floor paneling. And again, Buck's going to be a great operator for destroying that up and then getting rid of some of the anchors inside there.
I do like kind of how risky almost it feels taking the butt, because at least with the Twitch, it's this drone getting destroyed and not one of your members if they do find themselves getting caught out. So you are taking that risk by doing so. However, you of course get much more destructive power with the butt. The amount of openings you can create for your team is far beyond what any Twitch drone can do by taking out a couple of mirror windows and maybe a bandit charge if they're lucky before it's getting destroyed. as most teams will have a pretty good idea. But let's see what they can do to try and bring this one back. Fable currently 3-1 down. It's their time to attack with the Buck.
Yeah, it seems to be that Horizon do have a bit of a hold upstairs inside that office. Fable look to be pushing towards this east stairs and then this office take, rather than the typical security and then box that we do see many teams opt for. I believe we have 2 roamers upstairs, going to be the Bandit and also the Ayla. No mirror window support of them upstairs, however, which could be a bit of a disadvantage, as you do have, of course, Mira. A big advantage for holding upstairs, as she can put different mirrors on side. That main double wall, that box wall, as well as that typically where the B bomb site would be as well. But at the moment they seem to be coping pretty well. 1 minute down for the attacking team and still no kills on the board for either team.
I think Horizon were getting a little bit skittish because they hadn't seen anyone in the whole minute, and the 2 roamers upstairs were like, well, we've got to know if they're here somewhere. So they pushed out and they did see someone through a hole, didn't manage to bring them down, but at least they know Fable are on the upstairs floor and aren't trying anything crazy by trying to cheese them.
Yep, still waiting for the first blood. I think it's going to come very shortly. As we see Nain Nasher, that aggressive player we do know is going to push around. It's going to be a reaction getting the first blood. That's going to be onto that Ayla playing inside, where that typical B bomb site would be inside the archive. Still 1 man upstairs for Horizon. It's going to be Bandit. Let's see if he could maybe waste a bit more time for his team, as the hatches now are going to start to get opened up by Fable. And I'm sure the Buck will follow shortly.
Curious to see if Joker can make anything happen on this top floor. They're going to get that wall opened up by the Buck. Almost has the opportunity. Just misses it out. However, 2max is going to catch out Nasher with that C4. We've been waiting to see that pulse come to great effect, and now it will. Can they capitalize on it, though, and keep them from entering the point any further? Because as it stands, it's 4-on-4. Neither side really taking a lead, and with a minute to play with, this is where Fable have got to start making a move.
It's going to be a great shot from Joker, picking the kill on the twirl. He's going to go forward. A great rotate. It's going to be a rotate back into that main bomb site. I'm surprised somebody didn't show him that double window, but again, not having that double door open is going to mean that Rami can push down the stairs and get the kill on the Joker. But again, Joker's done his job. He's wasted a lot of time for this attacking team, and now it is going to become down to Fable to see how aggressive they can play and start to push in towards this bomb site.
They've got to make a move soon, because with only 20 seconds left on the clock, we all know what happens then. And in this case, Reaction's going to get himself injured. Hasn't been killed, but there is still that Bandit lurking upstairs. We've already seen Tristan do this once. Can his counterpart do it again? It doesn't seem like they're going to run for it just yet, but that rush potential is definitely there. 2max runs in, gets both of them, and as I say it, he makes the play happen.
Yep, 2max cleaning up house with that 2 kills. I believe it was a free K for him that round, as it did. Previous, there's going to be dropping right in front of him.
Kills are raining from the sky, ladies and gents.
Easiest kill around so far for Max. So yeah, I would say it's a great hold from Horizon in that situation. Fable maybe a little bit slack with their clearing out of roamers. I'm surprised that they didn't think, okay, we have the man advantage. Why not rotate one of our guys over towards that security room and then in towards that box, where we did see Bandit playing again. If you put more pressure on towards that side of the map, then you would be able to clear out Joker a lot more proficiently, rather than just having everybody clumped up and running through that one archives door.
Well, match point now for Horizon. All they've got to do is win this one out, and they take the first map of the Premiership and take us through into Skyscraper. Of course, Fable will be the one standing in their way once more. Haven't been too successful at it thus far.
No, not so far at the moment. Again, this is going to be second time them trying this defense, I believe. Again, we're seeing the Mira, we're seeing the Pulse being picked up. Nothing out of the ordinary, of course. I would like to see Twirl played a bit more aggressive, possibly down in security room, possibly down inside that ventilation unit, as at the moment doesn't seem that Horizon are hunting for any of the roamers downstairs. Possibly it's because we haven't seen any roamers on the side of Fable at the moment. It's quite an interesting thing for me, because I knew Fable is always this aggressive team, lot of roamers, really, really hard to deal with in these certain defensive, not really so much the attack, even though they are very aggressive as well, as we already have seen of them. But I would like to see some more roam game from Fable, as again, that's just going to slow down more time for Horizon to start pushing into the bomb sites. And you never know, Fable could get 1 kill, 2 kills out of it. But we are going to see then 2max pick the kill on the Twirl, who was bleed down in towards that Teller's area, and is going to put his team up the front foot without reaction. He's going to go for the quick peek and get the kill on the 2max. It's going to be the refrag. That's one thing about these two teams that I've noticed. They're very good at trading out kills with each other. As soon as one person dies on one team, then the other team goes and gets the kill right back for it and puts it back into level advantage, which is always a good sign of a good team.
It just feels like in those last 20 to 30 seconds, a lot of it goes across to Horizon. And as you said, Fable haven't really got a huge roam game on the go, but Horizon, they've had 2 very successful rounds because of that roam game. Continuously wasting time, forcing Fable to go for that double drop through the hatch, which again was just raining kills from the sky for free for Tumas. And I'm just thinking, you know, realistically, Horizon are the ones who have got this figured out, it feels like. They're the ones who have got their finger on the pulse of Border, and they know what they're trying to do with this map, whereas Fable just got to, I think, also be more daring and be willing to go for these crazier plays in terms of either the runouts or trying to get the roam game upstairs on the go and just waiting. Don't group together as they've done a couple of times previously. Don't be afraid to try something different. Yeah,
but honestly, I would love to see something different from him right now, is to send somebody downstairs as a late rotator, because we've seen Tristan do it so much in Horizon that's worked. Great charms for him. Again, just having that late rotator, knowing that as an attacking team you're starting to push in, that you know there's going to be somebody behind you as well as in front of you. It's going to make it really awkward, and you're just going to get starting to get squished in, and then eventually you're just going to be trapped inside a sandwich. And then it basically goes from there. I would love to see Reaction just drop down and try a late rotate.
Well, Tumax losing his drone will indeed alert him that there is someone at that window watching for his drone. Again, it's what we saw them do earlier on. They held down pretty well, stared at the only entry point for that Twitch drone. However, here comes the push from Horizon. Going to try and get Noxa, but he turns around and gets Tumax. At least he's suited to face off in a 2v1, but Nox is starting to get another kill as well. Manages to injure him, but he's got a third one to go through now. He's going to do it as well. Noxa, the monster, finds himself the triple in the dying moments of that round, and Reaction rounds it out with Rum. Fable are back on the table.
Noxa is going to do work for his team to give his team a fighting chance inside this map. They were on match point. They have brought it back now 2 rounds, so it's going to be 4-2, but still in favour of Horizon. And there's one thing that I've seen Horizon do in that particular round that they haven't done all game, is that they decided to clump up inside one particular room off the map, which we have seen Fable do a lot, and that has got Fable killed. So now I'm confused to why Horizon has decided to clump up and just give Noxa just a free kills, just peeking in and out, peeking in and out. And it's the easiest thing as a defender to do is just hold one angle.
Absolutely. And I think with Horizon taking away the Ela here for Tumas, they're going for that roam game once again. It's worked brilliantly for them with the flanks that they've got off so far, the pressure they're applying. They know that's their key to victory. And at 4-2, they want to round this game out. They want to get us onto Skyscraper and just leave Border behind them for now. But once again, it's going to be Fable standing in their way. They're the ones on the attack with the Blackbeard as before. Interesting they're taking both the Thatcher and the Twitch, though.
Yeah, I'm confused still why we're not seeing the Buck, because we've seen them try the Twitch previously whenever Horizon did defend this bomb site. It got taken out straight away. Horizon were ready for that. So why not bring the Buck? We've seen no roam presence downstairs at the moment for Horizon. If I was Fable, I would then take advantage of that, then start playing downstairs. Bring your Buck, bring your destructibility operators, bring free sets and needs, bring the IQ, bring everything that can just start ripping up them anchor positions inside that A, and then also that B bomb site.
They are very solid on the defense, and like you say, it's more the disruption of the anchors that would be their big success into the entry point. But so far, have yet to really make it happen. They've had a couple of rounds that look pretty good for Fable, naturally. Almost getting himself tagged out Tumas there. That was a very cheeky run out.
Yeah, he's known for them. He is 100% known for them cheeky run-outs, just whenever you don't expect it. The most obvious spawn peaks that you'd think, oh, he's never going to go for that. He goes ahead and does it. It's crazy to see that his mindset just thinks, oh, it works in rank, let's try it here, and it works somehow. So yeah, just looking at the roam game, they still have, oh, actually he's came back up. He's seen some of the people, and he has came back upstairs, getting down by his teammate, put him back to 50 health, and I'm sure he will be back out very shortly, see what else he can do. We do see Fable gearing up for an office push. We haven't seen this yet, so it is quite interesting to see where they are going to go from here.
Let's give a quick recharge back at base and then straight back out to roam that Ela, basically. Oh!
Feels bad.
Very bad.
Feels bad. Yeah, it seems to be that Twitch room did come in, yes. I believe that possibly Horizon were waiting for the Twitch room coming in from that box. Instead, Fable have mixed it up and are instead going to go for this office push. I had a suspicion whenever I seen the Blackbeard being picked instead of the Ying, you automatically kind of thought, okay, it's going to be a ventilation unit sat here with Torald just being that dominant force. We did see then, however, I believe it was Reaction getting the trade out on to the Ash there, which does put it back into level terms, and Rum still does have them free gas canisters available to slow down this push even more for Fable.
Well, even in their 4v6 scenario, Horizon still managed to trade a kill back onto Fable, which evens things out once more. Blackbeard lurking once more. We've seen what Blackbeard can do on this map. In fact, Nasher is going to get a kill onto Tumas. That brings down the Jaeger and the Ela respectively, so they've got the Smoke, the Mirror, and the Bandit remaining to try and defend against this 4-man push. 4v2 make that. Fable are probably going to even this one out, it feels. Going to 4v3 if this round ends out the way we expect it to.
Yep, they have control of the bomb site. The plant is starting to go down. Rum is missing his smoke grenades, which is going to be a big factor, I think. Possibly he was expecting Nox to go for the plant beside the bomb site, which typically is going to be that main bomb site. As you see, 2max pick the kill on the Nox, and Asher then trades the kill out to Rum. He was going to go for that flank. Good awareness from him, and the Diffuser is going to go down. But you see Max also pick up another kill on the Rami, but Twirl, the ever-looking Blackbeard, does get the kill onto him and does pull Fable back into it now. 4-3.
They pulled themselves well back into it, to be fair, and you can't knock them for spirit and effort, because at 4 versus 3 for Horizon, earlier on it was 3-1, and it looked pretty set like it was going to go their way, but Fable have just won rounds back-to-back and find themselves in that very close spot, and we've been bemoaning the lack of a book, but to be honest with you, they made it work then. We thought that Twitch and Thatcher was very strange, and it was, to be fair. The Twitch didn't really get too much done, but they still managed to win the round, and of course, it's only the rounds that count at the end of the day.
The one thing that let them win that round was that they decided to change things up. I'd imagine Horizon were still in the same mindset, okay, we've seen them push box 2 times out of 2. They're probably going to do it again. Let's just gear up for that box push, but I don't expect that they were expecting that office push coming in from Fable, which did, in the end, change that whole entire hold-of-fire defense for Horizon, I'm sure, and it did put them back only 1 round apart.
It's going to get very complicated if we go into overtime here as well. If Fable win this round out, then we'll find ourselves in the wonderful position where, of course, we've had to have that rehost, and, well, who knows what can happen if we go into overtime, because we started off thinking Horizon were the ones pulling ahead, as we said a second ago, but Fable have come back fighting since they had that disconnect on reaction, and to be fair, it's been very, very close. You can see why the fans have been voting this way and saying it's 57% to 43%. Thanks once again to Six Invitational for those stats. And just to let you guys know, if you want to get involved in the conversation, just tweet with the hashtag ESL Prem, and we will be picking up your tweets, and of course you'll be joining all the other fans who have some thoughts on this matchup.
Yep, at the moment it seems to be that Horizon are going to be looking to just take control of security, take control of upstairs. They do have the format destructibility inside that sledge. Again, Sledge and Buck essentially do the same kind of job. They both have nades, they both have the ability to open up soft, breachable walls and also floors. But once again, we're going to be seeing an upstairs hold from Fable that we did see them do way back in their first defensive site. And let's see if Reaction can hold it down for his team, accompanied by his Jaeger.
And for Rum, it's been a pretty quiet second half since the rehost as well. He was shining for his team in the first half, but otherwise it's been relatively muted. Of course, he's not playing mute, but it's just been a generally very quiet time for him. Gets the one headshot coming through for 2max, though. That's Reaction going down, peeking that hole at the wrong time, my friend. 2max is going to push in the point. He knows there is another defender left. Yes, he does. Who does not want that double? If they can get this Roma cleared upstairs within the first minute, that's dreamland for Horizon.
Yeah, again, already 1 roamer off the board for Fabulous. Of course, that's going to put them on the back foot for the majority of this round. They know where Nasher is going to be located, as 2max did see him swerve over towards that double. As you do see the shots coming back and forth from either of them, but Nasher is going to get the better of this engagement and does make the great play by going for this rotate. I think that Horizon do have a suspicion that he possibly did go for that rotate, but at the moment upstairs control is going to be theirs for the meantime.
Indeed, they are. 2max will walk himself straight into an Ela mine. He needs to be careful. In fact, he's not being careful enough, it seems, as Twirl catches him out with the C4. That Pulse just lurking downstairs. As always, with that C4, never a fun one to get suddenly surprised by. 3v3 now. And Horizon yet to really make big ingrounds. In fact, forget about that, because Rami shut that down, and suddenly...
One angle playing there. That was... that's honestly, that's something that I don't think I've ever seen somebody decide to actually sit on that computer unit, which then again gives you an angle looking up towards that hatch. I think it was done like Pro League Year 1 Season 3. I've seen that happen. That was like the only time. Really smart from Rami there, playing that more that different angle again. That I'm sure Horizon didn't expect that to come in for. I definitely didn't expect it, but yeah, it did work for them, and it does put them now in man advantage.
Gonna go for the spray through the floor here as well. Goes to the shotgun. Catches him out once, downs him, and Rami finds success.
What a round from Rami. Great awareness from him. Nox is going to finish off the round. Does get the kill on the Tristan, and now we will be moving into overtime. That's only the first map.
Insanity that Fable have pulled this one back from such a deficit, and of course we will have to rehost that one as I drop my pen on the floor like an idiot. But one thing that isn't an idiot is either of these teams. It's been great play for both of them so far. I'm really, really impressed with Fable being able to pull that one back, and Nasha is living up to the name that we all expected. He's been playing fantastic.
I would say that possibly Horizon maybe got carried away. Maybe they thought, okay, right, we're in the driving seat now. We know we're going to finish this out. Okay, we lose 2 rounds. It's all right. It's okay. We'll finish it out. No, that didn't happen. Fable had the momentum behind them. That's one thing that I've always seen about Fable, is that they're such a momentum-based team. Whenever they get a couple of rounds on you, you may go 4-1 up. Whenever they figure out what your kind of strats are, they're a very counter-stratty team, and then the momentum just keeps rolling and rolling, and you can't stop it.
Absolutely. I mean, for a lot of teams, it is about that emotional side of the game as well. It is that motivation. If you go down 3 rounds in a row, you're kind of thinking, oh God, we're going to get absolutely ruined in this final round. But if you're finding yourself coming back and you're like, we can beat these guys. It's easy. It's easy.
That's one thing about different teams, that some teams, some mindsets think, okay, let's give them 3 rounds. Okay, they'll take 3 rounds off us. We'll know what their kind of strats are, and then we'll just win off that.
Absolutely. Well, we are into overtime, so both of these teams incredibly close. And I'm super excited to see how this closes out, purely on the basis that, you know, neither team has looked definitively ahead. For the first half, it was Horizon. Now it's Fable. You just don't know what's going to happen. Every time we have a pause, the game basically resets. It's like turning off the lights in the room and opening it up, and suddenly everyone's a different person. You just don't know what to expect.
Yep, looking at now going into overtime, again, Fable winning 3 rounds on the trot. This is where now I kind of feel a bit scary for Horizon, because now they're in uncharted territory. They're not entirely sure what to do now. Their previous 3 rounds haven't worked the way they planned. And now Fable do definitely have the confidence on their side. And this is where I think Fable will now just go and steamroll the next 2 rounds. And then, I hate to say it, will probably then go and steamroll in towards the next map as well.
Yeah, and that momentum can carry across maps, like you say, if they have a good bit of a warm-up here on Border and take it through to Skyscraper. I'm not sure which team picked which map. I'd be curious to find out, purely because if it's their pick and they're going to Skyscraper, you have a pretty good idea of how it's
I reckon it was probably Fable who chose Border, and I'd imagine Horizon probably chose Skyscraper. That's what I think.
We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. But let's see how this next round plays out. 1 minute already down and off the clock, and as I say it, down comes the first kill. Tumas will pick off Nasha, arguably Fable's standout player so far. Does that mean this is going to be a Horizon round? Because they've already got themselves 2 kills in the first round of overtime.
Yeah, big plays from Tumas. That's exactly the kind of start I'd imagine Horizon are looking for. 2 members of Fable already down. It's going to be their main Slayers. It's going to be Reaction and also Nasher off the board, so that does leave the supports to clean up these remaining 5 kills. But at the moment, Horizon have definitely got a firm foot inside this round, and I'm sure they probably will extend this, as it seems to be that Tumas is going to look for some more aggressive plays, as he's still stuck into the window. He gets thrown out, he's still sticking it. So now we do see then the engagement. Rami is going to finish off Tumas finally, but still, a man advantage is going to go in the way of Horizon.
Nice one-tap kill there, but like you say, it's still advantage Horizon in the 4v3. And they are the ones on defense with a minute to go. This is where Fable have made mistakes all map long. When they are time constrained, they do start rushing things and start making mistakes. It almost feels like they need to act sooner, but with Horizon on a pretty solid defense, as we've seen from them all map, it does make it difficult.
That's one thing that I have seen about a lot of teams. Whenever their strategy possibly, okay, right, let's take office, let's clear out the rumors. As soon as something happens that shouldn't go to plan, teams just freeze. Teams are like, what do we do? What do we do? That is then entirely down to the IGL. That is entirely down to whoever calls the big shots. That is completely down to them. And again, at the moment, does seem to be very stand still, as we do see Tristan with that aggression picks up 1. He is looking to look for the double one. Pistol comes out, but Rami does shut him down, but then the flank is going to come out from Joker. Twirl does get the kill on the Max, as now Rum is also going to get deagled by Twirl. 1v1, Bandit versus Blackbeard. You would fancy Blackbeard in this advantage.
But
he
10
does
seconds
have
on the
that shield,
clock.
but 8 seconds it is just starting to tick down. He doesn't have the diffuser, as it is going to be going in the way of Horizon in this situation.
Smart choice there. So many times games have been thrown away by players trying to be aggressive and thinking they can win the 1v1, but there was no need to even push that, and rightly so. Horizon win that first round, taking themselves into overtime with the first win. Fable, they've got to win 2 rounds on the bounce, and to be fair for Horizon, they'd lost 3 rounds previous to that. Yeah. So for them to come back and win 1 will probably give them some momentum too. So realistically, this is like the ultimate decider now between the 2 teams as to who wins. It is really that close.
Yeah, once again, match point for Horizon. let's see if they can finish it out once again. Last time we did see them not be able to finish it out, but possibly we'll see if Fable can pull it back once again, and then again the momentum behind them, I'd imagine they will go ahead and take the next round. But without them big plays coming out from Tumas in that early opening rounds, it is a big factor for many Horizon victories is going to be Tumas.
Indeed it will, and to be fair, he's definitely surprised me a little. He said he was one of the 2 unknowns on the enemy team that we weren't 100% sure about, and we expected it to be maybe Brum, who was kind of stepping up, but Tumas has definitely looked good, and he's the one with the former Pro League experience on the team, as you mentioned. Definitely starting to show through in this game, but what counts, of course, is the map scoreline. They are 1 map away from taking the first map of the ESL Premiership. Alternatively, though, Fable may turn around and surprise everyone, as they did earlier on in this map.
Looking at the lineups from both teams, Horizon seems to be the standard operators they've picked throughout this map. FIREMAN, Thatcher, Habana is always going to be them core 3 operators to start. Again, them support operators, as we've already talked about. And then, of course, also then Tumas playing that Ash, that aggressive role. And then, of course, Rum on that Blackbeard, which you've seen him play so much.
Yeah, they're actually playing surprisingly close to point at the minute, not choosing to roam around the opposite side of the building, but maybe because they know they're in this situation where they have to win. They can't afford to take too many risks. And you were saying earlier on, if something goes wrong and the team freezes, it's down to the RGL to make the big calls. Maybe his call this time around is, guys, we're playing this defensively. We do not need to take any big risks. Let's get this down to the literally the final round of the map, and we'll see how we do that.
Seems to be once again we've seen Tumas play here inside the security, trying to go for early picks. Still don't know if it's going to be an office push yet or a box push. Again, that's going to be the only 2 options you can go for, is the office or the box push. But still nothing at the moment. Again, Tumas still trying to get an early pick for his team, which you've seen him do so many times, which has helped his team out a lot in the early phase, getting people inside, getting ready for that first push in towards them bomb sites. But at the moment, it looks to be an office push so far.
Well, no one's gone down in the first minute, which I think is a record first for these 2 teams when facing off against each other. I imagine that will change soon, because the Ella is just creeping so close, and Tumas is constantly pre-firing on that angle, expecting her to stand up, but she knows where he is, she knows where he's pushing from, and they know what to expect.
Seems to be the same angle we did see him hold as. Oh, just if he does peek just a little bit. Oh, he did see the hit, but he's going to miss it. Tumas is going to get the first blood once again for his team. On to reaction. Ash taking down Ayla. It's going to be a big kill as again. Ayla, again, let's just say it. Ayla has the outright best gun in the game at the moment. It's 50 rounds, high rate of fire, essentially no recoil. It's Scorpion's is the best gun, and especially taking out an operator with that gun is going to be a really big kill for your team.
Noxa's finding himself slightly pinned in there. However, the headshot comes through. Well, not quite a headshot, but enough from Tumas to bring down Noxa, bringing this to a 5 versus 3. Horizon look like they're going to take this map, but they've got around him out a little bit more. They've dropped the diffuser already. In fact, 2 kills go across. Rami steps up big from Fable, and suddenly it turns into a 3v3 in a flash.
Still 45 seconds on the clock for the attacker. Still plenty of time. Rum does get the kill on the twirl. That's going to be another anchor out of the bomb site inside that B area, I believe it was. So the last 2 men standing for Fable to keep their team, and their hopes alive of winning this first map does lie on the Mira and then also the Jaeger.
Yeah, it's gone very, very quiet as soon as it's turned into this 3v2 situation. Rami's been pretty big so far, but can he end the round on a high as well? 2 of the defenders lurking just around this corner from Horizon. He's going to get even 1. No, he's not. Doesn't even go for the fire, but it's going to be 3v1 into a 1 versus 2 all of a sudden. Horizon are the ones in the advantage scenario, and Nasha goes down. Horizon win the first map, and on we go to Skyscraper.
Yeah, great aggression coming out from Horizon, especially Tumas, pushing in through that fighting as soon as it was open. And then, of course, then that just led onto that. We did see then the rest of his team finally saying, okay, he did it. Why don't we have a go? And they just pushed in, got the kills they needed to, and Horizon do take the first map.
It was a bit scrappy, let's be honest. The first half of that match was very, very scrappy.
A lot of silly errors I've picked up on as well.
Definitely, but once we got into overtime, things did kind of settle down a bit, and it did get a little bit cleaner towards the end, and, you know, it's the first match of the whole Premiership.
Yeah,
it's going to be, it's the first week, even on our end.
It's a good match.
It's going to be scrappy, even on our end as well as the team's end. I think next week we'll see teams start to round things out, but it was a good match. I agree with you, and it's a match that is not over because Skyscraper is coming up next.
Yep, looking forward to it. I say that politely. But yeah, I'm interested to see who actually picks Skyscraper. I still want to find that out. Again, Skyscraper is going to be one of the maps where typically the defenders have pretty much a very good chance at defending most bomb sites, as it's very hard for attackers, like we were saying. No drop hatches, so it's going to be either through that geisha or through windows, which again, jumping in through windows, a one-way traffic area, it's going to be a really big kill zone for most defenders. Chucking C4s, pulse from below, possibly shotguns as well. You could possibly see some of them. Yeah, that's pretty much what we expect for Skyscraper, just a lot of kills.
Before we jump fully over to Skyscraper, though, let's take a look at some replays coming through. And I think every member had their shining moments in there. Tristan with that great flank early on was probably the big standout for me. And this was beautiful. Like I say, raining kills from the sky.
Basically,
it was basically a big hello, thank you very much, and good night. I mean, I think both teams had every member had their moment of shining in that match. I don't think any particular one member was quiet overall. Like at points we said, oh, you know, Rum's been very quiet in this half of the match, but first half he was noisy. Same thing.
That was my favourite kill. My favourite kill out there. That awareness from Rami was amazing.
Good understanding of the map as well to know exactly where he was sat, what angle to shotgun, and in 2 shots he had him down injured. The 3rd shot finished him off. Beautiful.
Yeah. That was very good game. I love that from Rami. Just that Echo drone being able to see and exactly where he is. He's on his drone. Let me shotgun him and hope for the best. So yeah, shortly moving on to Skyscraper. What are you thinking about Skyscraper? How are you finding it?
Well, how am I finding it? Clearly not finding it yet because the match hasn't started. But in terms of how I expect this one to play out more than anything, I think because Horizon have looked a little bit stronger on the roam game, there are lots of runouts you can do on Skyscraper. So they'll have a lot more success with that, I think. So I'm expecting more for Fable than anything else. They will have someone watching those runouts, because if they don't, I think twice they got run out on in that game. They want to be very careful that Tristan especially doesn't catch them the same way again.
Again, Skyscraper is going to be one of them maps where it's kind of split 50-50. But maps completely split in half via either the restaurant area going in towards that little bit of bar, and then also then that security. It's the stockroom area, the delivery room, and then of course also then that drum is going to be a main area which many defenders and attackers want to control, as in that's going to allow people starting to move in and also out of the different bomb sites.
So what points do you think we're going to be looking at in the first couple of rounds of this match?
I think that we're just going to be starting to look at different mirror placements. I want to see who...
You think T-Room probably is our first
go-to? Yeah, more likely T-Room. Mirror placement's going to be a big thing for me. I think that it's going to be varied between both teams, as we might see some mirror windows inside the T-room area looking out towards that drum and main stairs area, and then also then the mirror possibly stationed inside a geisha for all we know. That just gives more geisha control as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's that one wall inside geisha as well, which just opens the whole thing up. Like most attackers will always look.
That's the main way they want to get.
And they will always look for that geisha control to really start staging their attack, because it's such a solid place to start. You've got a quick exit and rotation if you need it. And of course that one huge open wall. That leading around to Dragon and onto Terrace as well, that's a second angle. So if you control Geisha generally, you control that whole area, and it makes it so much easier to
especially if you have, like, for example, a Blackbeard out towards that Dragon statue, that window, and
Dragon,
also that
and
door.
He basically prevents any kind of rotation.
Pretty much, because it gives a complete direct line of sight in towards both bomb sites as well.
Yeah. So in that last match, you had a couple of questionable picks that you saw, and you were like, I'm not quite sure. The one round that really stuck out to me was the Twitch and the Thatcher in one. Were they that worried about devices they had to take both? What do you think we expect to see on this map? Because, of course, what we expect and what we do actually see are often two very different things.
Once again, Buck's a great operator for Skyscraper, has a lot of destructibility potential. Again, that whole entire T-room and that karaoke, and also the geisha is also destructible, where you go down in the kitchen, and that's going to be another great way of getting rid of any bandits that do want to go for the bandit trick on that single wall at geisha, which inevitably we will see somebody try and do that. And Buck would be a great operator for getting rid of that, as he just gives just so much for his team. Again, getting rid of anchors. Skyscraper, a really big anchor map, of course, where obviously you're going to pick Mira. And also Pulse is also a great operator, as he can play below with that C4, as we have seen before, coming out from, I believe it was Twirl, and then also 2Max playing it. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
What do you think about Nash? Because we half expected him to bring out the sledge, and he didn't. Like that, you said that's one big operator he's been running around on quite a lot. Seems to have dropped that and is now more favouring other operators.
I think that's the team selection. They want him to play the operator because they need the operator. Also, I think it's maybe these maps aren't the best for Nasher. I think Nasher performs well in Oregon. He performs well on Clubhouse. He performed well in Chalet, especially Chalet. Chalet is all time's best map.
And so we just see every other map that's probably popular being picked out instead.
Yeah. I would say maybe just a map selection for Nasher is one of the main reasons why we don't see him playing that sledge.
Fair enough. And once again, to remind you guys, if you want to join the conversation, hashtag ESL Prem, we will be picking up your tweets and reading them throughout the evening in the breaks. And production, of course, they love a good laugh as well. They'll be checking them out throughout the evening. And speaking of good laughs, that was a good laugh for a first game. I really enjoyed watching it, to be fair. And I'm thinking, if this goes into another matchup where these guys are going to be playing again at the end of the season, because it goes, you play against the first team, second team, third team, and then third team, second team, first team. We'll be sitting here again in 7 weeks' time, looking back at this matchup and going, remember those good old days? Yeah. Now it's a lot more serious. You know, probably would have been blood spilt on Twitter, players going crazy at each other. And I imagine as we go through the competition, it will really start to heat up as well.
Yep, especially whenever different teams look at each other, they're going to be able to say, okay, we know their particular strat for that map. How can we counter that? And then this is whenever counter-strat is going to become a big thing for Premiership, the same way it is for Pro League. Is again, every match is going to be streamed. Everybody has access to seeing all the different matches, and then that's where it's going to come down to different teams taking out the time to research their next opponents. As I'm sure, I don't know who both these teams play next week. So either, of course, then 1UP or Vex, whoever they play. They're going to be probably sitting looking at it right now. Okay, let's see what they have in store for us, and then of course they'll be able to counter-strat to them.
That's what I'm quite curious to know, and probably ask a lot of the players over the next coming week, is will you be watching back most of these videos to understand the teams that you're playing against better, because these can rotate around quite a bit in terms of roster. We've seen it over the last few months, some teams jumping around. You spoke about Blitz earlier on, jumping between teams as well. It gives you the kind of opportunity to understand where their strengths lie when they're playing with different players on different teams and seeing how things roll out. But speaking of rolling out, we're rolling out onto Skyscraper for Horizon versus Fable Map 2. Horizon taking the first one. Fable will be wanting to even things out and walk away from this match with at least 1 point.
Yep, again, Horizon, they now do have the strong foothold going in towards this next map. They, of course, have the first point in the bag already. They have won the first round of the Premiership. And then let's see if Fable can pull back a point or Horizon pick up 2 from this match. And already we are going to see that karaoke and that tea room like we have been talking about, of course. And let's see where we're going to bring us. One thing that I'm already not seeing is we're seeing no Mira, which I was so sure we were going to expect. But instead, Fable, they seem to prefer going for a smoke, which we previously haven't seen them pick on border. But instead, we're looking at more of an aggressive lineup from them, as we're seeing, I believe it's 4 free speeds on their lineup. We're seeing the Bandit, the Pulse. We're looking at the Ayla, of course. Ayla's going to be a must pick for, I believe, every team tonight's going to probably pick an Ayla. And then, of course, also the Jaeger, who's always been a strong staple inside Rainbow Six Siege.
I wonder if we see the meme of Pro League almost come alive, because this map is Horizon's pick. They chose Skyscraper and Fable chose Border and lost it. Quite a lot in Pro League, you'll see teams pick a map and then lose it, which is really bizarre to see. If Fable can turn around and do that, at least they walk away from this with the 1 point, which every team will be looking for in this first week. I think nothing else, no one wants to go home as the team at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Looking at the picks, that's what I expected. I expected Fable to go for that choice of Border, as again they're going to be a new team. I wouldn't imagine that they've had too much time to start running maps such as Skyscraper and possibly Coastline, but no surprise from Horizon that they've been about for quite a while. I'm sure they probably have a good understanding of most maps with their strats, but at the moment we do see a good confrontation coming out here from Reaction against the rest of the Reactions. We do see Reactions pushing in, getting the kill on the 2-Mas, and that's just something that Ayla can do is so easily. It's just, Pete, you have the best gun in the game. What can go wrong?
3 speed, best gun in the game. Like you say, what more could go wrong? Great device, yeah.
Barbed wire. What else can you need?
Surely going to be changing at some point. However, Fable is going to get this. Nasha, sorry, is going to get the second kill for Fable. And Horizon, I dare say, as we said earlier on, struggling on their own map choice here, being spotted out by that early pick, and it looks like Heroes sat inside this window is going to be aware that there's something going on here. Gets himself sprayed down. In fact, injured as well. Here comes Rum to gun him down on the slide, and that's the sort of thing you see in a Rainbow Six trailer. But at least he gets himself the kill back. 4v3 in favour of Fable.
But looking at who Horizon have lost, they've lost their 2 main Slayers, they've lost Ash, and they've also lost that destructibility like we were talking about with the Buck. I would imagine that Buck was looking to get down in towards that Geisha area to then get rid of this Bandit, where Tristan can then go ahead and fire him out. But at the moment, we don't see any bandits playing him behind there, and I'm just looking at this angle that Joker did open up with his Habana Pellets. This gives him a clear line of sight in towards that Geisha wall, and I'm sure Tristan will very shortly be able to go and open this bandit charge. But at the moment, these smoke grenades are actually going to impair his vision, so it does slow him down even more. And again, more confrontations coming out. That drum control seems to be that Tristan wants to gain control of, and Reaction has ended up giving it to him.
The pressure that Reaction is applying in this round is literally insane. Not only did he open up and get a super early kill, all these entry points they've been looking for, he is darting around this map, making sure his presence is being felt by any aggressors who would dare step forward. Most of those pellets being shot. He might get one. Even sprays down, and Horizon get the double. Joker and Tristan open up the scoring once more. And Fable find themselves in the... Yep, Reaction is down. The guy who's been their shining star this round, they've got control of Drum, and now with 20 seconds on the clock, they can start pushing forward. That C4 is going to get missed out, but they know where they are. Tristan peeked the wrong angle. Needs to watch out to his left, though. He might find himself getting run through if he's not careful. In fact, the shots coming through into Karaoke are not going to find their target. Ron pushes in. He loses the trade against Noxa.
Shouldn't have lost that.
No way in hell should he have lost that. However, 2v2. Down goes the diffuser. Can they find themselves any more opening kills? Noxa is going to have to peek himself towards this window. In fact, he is the only one left against the two aggressors, and they know that he's outside. They know where he is. He is going to struggle to retake this point. Yep,
a complete flip of, I believe it might have been a double flip. As we did see Fable with the two-man advantage, Horizon then brought it back, and then once again Fable took it back into control, and Horizon now had the full control of the bomb site, and at this stage knocks it. It's going to be an impossible victory for him, as time is still ticking down, and again just having Joker there playing inside that main corridor is going to finish up the kill, and Horizon are going to take the first point on this second map.
He must have known as well that they were watching the angles that would lead him to the point, and his probably his best bet there was to go for a rush and try and bring someone down on the way through with that speed that he had. However, the angles were being watched, finds himself tagged out, and Horizon at least take the first round on their map.
That's the best thing about being an attacker and planting the bomb. Whenever you plant the bomb, you then turn in towards it. You turn into a defender, because then the defending team has to play as an attacker now and get into the bomb site, and at that stage you can just sit and hold an angle. That's the best thing. Whenever the bomb goes down, pick an angle, pick a door, the door you think he's going to run through, and that should be game, set, match from there.
I do love how a bomb going down basically turns the whole match on its head. All the reinforcements and stuff you spent 45 seconds setting up, and all the preparations, the mirror windows.
Going to come back to bite you.
Everything is being used against you, so it's kind of like, we best hold this down, guys, or we are going to be in so much trouble come the end of this round if they manage to take the point. And as we saw just there, and now Horizon get their first round at defense. I expect they got some pretty good plans for this one, given they did pick up the map. And that mute coming through, we were speaking about mute before the broadcast began, and we were saying we don't see it all that often, but it is incredibly powerful when used correctly, and Horizon clearly have got their strats ready.
I think mute's very underrated as a defending operator. Again, he doesn't have the best gun in the game. He doesn't have an ACOG, of course, which may turn off most anchors. Again, mute is usually an anchor operator because he's not free speed, he's not the best roamer. But again, it's a great gadget. It stops down any mute, it stops any drones coming down. It also stops, I believe, also stops any extra thermite charges, and also Kairos pellets being put out as well. And it just slows down the push from the attacking team even more, and especially for a map such as Skyscraper, where it's very close quarter combat. It's very twisty, turny corridors, very close range, and that mute jammer does have quite a big radius, and especially for that drum control, mute's going to be that perfect operator for slowing down that attack.
I've said so many times, it's so important just to slow down an attack. If you can do nothing else, at least delay the attackers. They have to panic and make those mistakes. The Fable going to be pushing here onto the south balcony, looking for terrorist control once again and pushing in towards Geisha. As we said earlier on, that's where they've got to take first before they can begin this attack. Horizon, they'll be keeping an eye on. I'm curious to see what the Romans go for. We do have Tumas running around. We've seen what he can do on this Ella. Did it on the last map. If he can run around and cause absolute chaos again, then it's going to be exactly what Reaction did to them a couple of, well, last round actually, which has really caused them a lot of headaches early on.
Yep, it also seems to be that we also have Bandit playing downstairs, I believe. I think it's Bandit, yeah, it's Bandit playing downstairs. Again, that's just going to be another roamer that Fable are going to have to deal with.
I've got a question for you. What do you make of him having a laser on his gun? Because it's pretty much a big no-no in most situations to take laser, unless on like a shotgun.
Well, I always think that a Vector is a very close-range weapon. Typically, it's mirror windows. You usually have attackers pushing in towards your line of sight. We do see a field flashbang there from Reaction. It's going to slow down the attack even more.
We've seen a team kill. We've seen flashing your own teammates. Come on, guys. Come on. It's not that hard.
As we do
Joker
see
looking the wrong way.
Looking up, and then we are going to see Nasher get... I would say that would be the easiest kill of the round. And now we are going to see then the aggression coming in from Fable. Somehow Twirl has been downed outside as Tristan does put an end to that Reaction pushing in aggressively, but then Nasher does get the refrag, but at the moment it's still going to be a 4v3, maybe a 4v3. Half his rum explodes Nasher, and now puts it back in towards this 3v3, but again, Still do see Twirl down, as I'm sure Nox is going to rotate and pick up his Blackbeard.
He's going to try and go for it, but I think maybe they're waiting for the res to come through before the run-out comes through. There's going to be no run-out, it seems. I thought for a second they would go for it as soon as they heard him getting picked up, but not going to happen, and Twirl is back on his feet once more, looking for vengeance, no doubt as well. Of course, only at half HP. It still means he can go back and seek out those who did him wrong.
We're going to be seeing another late rotate, I believe, from Tristan coming up them back stairs. 2max still in control of that Geisha, and also does have control of that B site, as he does have that mirror window to use and then also abuse from that, as we do see Rami starting to get tagged up from that Vectors. Twirl does put an end to Tristan, and as now we are going to see the mirror stuck inside a 3v1 situation.
Yeah, they're just going to sit and watch the angles here. You've got the corridor you can watch. I was going to say you can watch them in T-Room, not that it really matters, because they're in more than enough trouble to lose that one out. And hey, Fable are back on the scoring board.
Yeah, again, a great push coming out from them. It was looking a bit shaky. We've seen Reaction pushing and get shut down straight away. But then possibly just the patience coming out from them last three supporting operators that we do see quite a lot. Seems to be both these teams have a 3-2 split. 3 supports and then also 2 Slayers. And then also equally 3 supports, 2 Slayers, which we've seen throughout these 2 rounds so far, and also the last map, of course. So yeah, it's really interesting to see just the different patience and different play styles that each member does play a part inside a team.
And the kills are a lot more scattered out this time around. Last map, it was very heavily in favour of a couple of members for the majority of the map, and this time round, everyone playing their part, which is always a good thing to see, because it means everyone's in that zone to play, everyone's ready to contribute in a way. It's not like there's a couple of players running away with the game because they're the ones fully motivated for this. Everyone's had their warm-up on border, and Horizon, again, it's their map pick. They're the ones who will be favoured to take this one away, given they chose it. But Fable have been looking pretty good so far. That last round with the 3v1 ending, definitely a confident scenario for them, despite Horizon having what looked like a pretty solid defense to start things off.
It looked pretty solid. They had control of Drum, of course, which is going to be a big thing that we've always talked about. I think that they maybe gave Geisha away too early. Again, they had the Bandit Roman, where he could have put in Bandit playing inside that Geisha, doing the Bandit trick, which would have slowed down the push coming out from Fable even more. But primarily it seemed to be more of a T-Room take coming out from Fable. They brought the Yinga, which I would imagine is going to be in that main entryway, possibly flashing the person in towards that little corner area inside the T-Room, and then also, of course, flashing that entire corridor out, which you might have somebody playing around that main stairs as a defender, holding that angle ready for that run-in cross coming in from that main door, and also the back stairs area as well. So yeah, overall, a good attack from Fable, which I don't think Horizon was expecting that T-Room push.
No, and speaking of T-Room and Karaoke, I was just about to say it's probably all we're going to see, because neither team so far has successfully defended their own point, which probably means they'll keep on pushing upstairs until they get it right. And I don't blame them either. It is a very, very good, solid point to defend. Again, if you retain Geisha control, you make it very hard for the aggressors to push in. And speaking of such, Fable on the defense will open the first round kills onto 2max.
What a surprise. Another Ela kill for Reaction, but then again, another kill for the Ash on this side of Horizon is going to get the trade out on the Nasher, but now these two behemoths are going to come in confrontation. There you go. And again, Ela Mine is going to help out Reaction in that situation. And again, just a great gadget, great gun. And I would say that she definitely does outclass Ash in that situation.
I'll help you learn how to spell concentration for your next spelling test if you want.
Yep.
Do some practice of that one, mate, later on after the broadcast. Anyway, Fable find themselves in a 4v3 situation. As you said, the Ela actually there did take half health damage as well, despite going for that trade once the popper come through. Still found herself getting shot out a few times, and I've seen a couple of times in Pro League players killing other players through the grenade coming through from the Ela. Very rare, but when it does happen, it's beautiful. Because you can barely see anything when that. You don't even know which gun's the real gun. You see about 5 different guns in front of you, and it's like,
I'm glad
where are they?
Nerfed.
Yeah.
Because again, like the Ela Mine, it's a 7-second orientation you're having to deal with. It's 7 seconds of you acting as if you're drunk, but now Ubisoft decided, okay, it's maybe a wee bit too overpowered, so now we're going to nerf it down to 4 seconds, which it's going to hit her quite hard, and especially with the change to your SMG, where it's going to have a bit more recoil, and then also taking away 10 bullets, and it's now going to be a 40 mag round, of course, so she's going to get hit quite hard, but I still think she's going to be a great staple inside Rainbow Six Siege.
I think Rami was quite bored there, because he was just tracing the microphone, just like, oh, that's a really nice microphone. Look at it. I'm just going to take my little triangle the whole way down it. Oh, isn't that pretty? He sort of running and killed, and then I would have laughed so much. But I think he's held that angle all round long. He's wanted some fun. Maybe looking at microphones is what he does in his spare time. I don't know. But what Rami does in his spare time is bring down Joker, apparently. Fable find themselves in a 4v2. And this time round, it looks like the defenders may actually be able to win out Karaoke and T-Room.
Yeah, looking at the past 2 rounds, I wouldn't say that the two defense that both teams have produced They've not been bad. Yeah, they've not been, oh, that's a bad defense, any attack could win that. I just think it's been good attacks. Yeah. That's what I think. I think it's been good attacks. We do see Tristan pull the wire and does flip it onto a 2v2, but no, for very long as we've seen Noxen get the trade out on the Tristan as Rum does try to go for the plant, but the Echo Drone is going to stop that, and Noxa is going to get the call out, and he can easily pre-fire around the corner, and that is going to be Fable taking the lead inside Skyscraper.
Just goes for a nice spray through the wall. And the defenders will finally win. Can Horizon affect the same? Because last time round, both of them looked a little bit shaky on the defense, like you say. Also, the attackers looked excellent in terms of breaking down the defense. Both have seemed to have got their defenses sorted out. They know what they want to do. It's just how do they prevent the attackers from doing their own idea.
Looking at the scoreboard here, we see more of a stable kind of kill ratio for Fable. Everybody's doing a part. Not looking too good for my man Max. Not looking too good at the moment. Still yet to get off the board. Tristan seems to be going big with 4 kills. It's still early days. It's still only 2-1. It can still go either way to each team.
It can, but like I say, it's nice to see Tristan stepping up there as well. Always, like I say, the leader should lead from the front, and he's definitely doing that at the minute. Brum has been pretty quiet because he had a great first few rounds on border, but here he does seem to be struggling a little bit to make an impact. This time picking up the mute at least. Last time I believe was on the mirror, but 2max will be picking. No, sorry, it was 2max on the mirror last time around. I'm just remembering.
Yep. So yeah, once again, we're seeing that mute jammer being picked up once again. That's going to give then that control of the drum, of course, as no drones are going to be sent in from Fable. But last time, Fable had no interest in taking control of drum. They had more interest in going for this T-room push, being able to use them Candela devices to start yinging out. See that little cupboard there to the right-hand side of that A-bomb site, which again, it's going to be a typical anchor spot. That right there, it's going to be a typical anchor spot for many Miras, possibly Echo. That's a great position for Echo, so he can sit there on his drone all day long. And again, that's going to be the main priority for Yang to do your job and get rid of them anchors.
So it's a very precarious mirror being placed inside there, looking in towards the T-room, I think it was. So in that case, it's a dream scenario almost for the attackers to take karaoke here because they have such a good setup provided for them by the defenders. But Horizon will not be giving it away super easy. Blackbeard once again being picked up, it seems. It's definitely one of the more popular operators for them because they took it quite a lot on border as well. Both maps do favour it because they're both very window-based. Yep. But it does seem they're definitely sticking by their guns and going for it every single time.
Seems to be the Geisha push, once again, coming out from Fable. Still, no Bandit is going to go for that Bandit trick, which is quite surprising. In my opinion, that is going to be one of the best ways for defending teams to defend that Geisha, is going to be just completely stopping any exothermite charges being able to place down on that Geisha wall, of course. And now with that open, that's going to shut down a lot of the different crosses in between the both bomb sites, as again you can just show out that entire soft wall of Geisha, and it could possibly give the FIREMAN a great line of sight, and then it does then allow Fable to start rotating and go for this T-room push.
What I do like about the mute is that it's preventing the supporting operators from being able to get those drones in to find out the intel. And the hard thing is, it's very difficult to push in an assaulter point unless you have information about where the defenses are, about where all the gadgets have been placed down, about where the enemy operators are. And they're really struggling to do it so far because of all these mutes that have been put in the way. And I think about 60 seconds have been burned trying to get in from the balcony into Geisha alone.
We do see Nasher getting the kill on the Tristan. Joker then trades that kill on the reaction. Nasher with it free, as he does finally get finished off by Joker on that back stairs, but he has done his job. He has got them 3 kills, which has put his team in this advantage, and let's see where it does go from here with Blackbeard, Thatcher and FIREMAN. The 3 supports as we've been talking about left up for Fable as Joker, and then also I believe it's Rum on that mute is going to be the last people up.
Just going to hold out here. He's 3 versus 1 indeed. He's going to go for the run out and actually gets it as well. But they know once more, this feels very, very reminiscent of round 1. They know exactly where he is, and it's going to be very, very hard for him to make this work out for them.
Once again, the fuser's going to be planted, and all Fable need to do is just sit back, relax, and watch an angle.
Run around instead, probably going through.
Quite a common runabout though. It is quite a common runout, as is very able for a free speed to go for that runout, as it literally gives the attacker a split second to see that you're detected. And then possibly if Joker does get this kill, he's going to get it, and he's going to go for the defuse.
Will he get the defuse in time?
No, no, the Claimer's just off it. I don't think he has enough time. 7 hits, 2, 3.
Too slow.
4.
No.
Oh, he's not going to get it, but good try nonetheless from Joker.
Well, that's definitely a Twitch clip for the week, if nothing else. Super close from Joker. And again, a big clutch round coming through from him. 8 kills he's walking away with now, surpassing even Nash's 6. Great round for the Bandit, but not enough to win them out that round, unfortunately.
I even think if the Claimer wasn't there, I still think he didn't have enough time. I think it was still just a millisecond off. But nonetheless, good attempt from Joker, but Fable now leading 2-round advantage, as it is going to be 3-1 going in Fable's way, and they do now have that defense.
They do indeed. They've been looking really good so far. Again, it was the attacking in the first 2 rounds that's been great, but the last couple have been all Fable. Admittedly, that last round, not so much on luck because they executed very well early in the round, but it was more the unluckiness of Horizon to not be able to get a couple more hits in to win that round. In which case, it would be a 2-2. We'd be saying, well, this has been a very even match so far. Exactly.
So, looking at this defense, we are going to be going upstairs into that work office area. I was expecting the kitchen barbecue. I think that's a better defensive site than this office area. Because
it's so open. It's just, you get a shotgun here and you can open up everything.
Blackbeard's a powerhouse for this particular bomb site is 2 of them windows that you do see, the one inside B and then also the one inside A, it gives complete coverage into both of them bomb sites. You know, it just shuts down, especially that B one. It shuts down any crosses going in towards that main corridor area, and as well, it just shuts out anybody playing Anchor. But we do see Nasher picking up the Vigil. That's interesting to see.
We had a good discussion about this the other day, about how teams haven't really been able to use him optimally yet. No one's found the perfect setup and use for him. But maybe Nasher is thinking, I've got an idea, guys. I know how he can use this effectively. And who knows whether they've been practicing this in preparation for Prem, or if it's just something he's just thought, guys, I've been playing this and I want to give it a go. They're hoping for the best. And again, it's the nice thing you have is that you can't be droned out, because it just makes it so much easier to lurk somewhere on a very, very obvious angle. Maybe when you don't see him, you will panic a bit and think, well, we know he's here somewhere. Where the hell is he? Because I think it's very easy to know they've got one. Speaking of knowing which, Twirl clearly doesn't know what's up, because Tumas, absolutely, he's coming up pretty big, getting himself that first opening kill.
Another opening kill. How many is that already for him?
Probably at least 5, easily.
Yeah, I'd love to see the stats for it. Love to see the stats after this game. I'm sure I'll probably get them somehow. But already we do see then them setting up for this dragon statue push, it seems to be. We have then Rum being a Blackbeard on that north balcony window, which you do rappel up onto, which then just completely shuts down anybody wanting to cross in towards this main corridor, and also can kill anybody sitting in towards that B-bomb site. But I do believe that there is a castle barricade stopping him from using that really, really powerful angle into that heart of the corridor. But again, it is very easy just to get blown off by an Ash charge, or even to have Banapilla if it does come down to it. Once again, Tumas getting another kill on the Rami, and that is going to be a 2-man advantage leading in towards this final half of the round. Let's see if Horizon can pull through, or will Fable make another comeback and being able to even out and go one step ahead going into 4-1.
Horizon looking to go for the double push there, but they are going to at least trade kills back and forth, and trades will always favour them. Reaction!
3-piece!
Gets himself the triple kill. Looking great for them now all of a sudden, because it's now turned into a 2v2. They've still got hold of the diffuser though, and are still looking to siege this point. They can't throw all that hard work to waste that they had at the very start of this round. And they know someone's downstairs. They know he's lurking. He's coming up the stairs. A Rum on this Blackbeard. He loves his Blackbeard, and he's been watching these stairs intently, waiting for that peak to come through.
This is why I love Siege. You can see a team go in a major advantage, and all of a sudden, it's been flipped in its head. Somebody's got a free piece. And we do see Max get the kill on the Noxus now. It's going to be all down to reaction. He has to get these 2 kills for the ace, but at the moment he's not going to be in a position to stop the plant going down on site. As we do see, I believe it's going to be Joker go for... No, who is it? Joker has 2 Max. Isn't it?
I was about to say, you know, gets 1. Can he do it all the way, though?
The ace, but we do see Max with that head glitch. He is going to have to get the lucky kill from this.
Oh,
that's so tight.
He's literally got 1 more shot to go through. He's nearly dead himself, though. A couple more shots on his piece will get them this kill.
Still has plenty of time. Still has plenty of time. This is going to be all down to see what direction Reaction wants to go for. He is going to go for the couple of sprays on that hard wall. It's not a softball reaction. As shots are going to come down, he gets it! He's going to get the ace clutch and send his team in a 4-1 advantage in the match point. What a round from Reaction.
Well, earlier it was Joker. This time round, it is Reaction, and what a round for him. I'm pretty sure this is going to be reminiscent of his teenage days, probably every single day for you, sitting at his Xbox, screaming at the screen, being dead happy with that. Mom, get the camera, look at what I'm doing. That was a beautiful round from him. And Fable at 4-on-1. all thanks to reaction. Think about these last 2 rounds we've seen. This could be at a 2-2. And already it's at 4-1 because Fable have played these last couple of rounds ridiculously well.
It was looking so good. Horizon.
Well, Fable have played it well. Reaction has played it well.
Looking so good. 4-2 up. Yeah, Horizon should win this round. All of a sudden, Reaction comes out of nowhere, and he's just put his team to match point.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And, you know, the prophecy has come true. Both teams have pretty much lost the maps that they chose. Horizon aren't out of this yet. They are on match point. But we've seen both teams turn games around in this series so far, so I would not be surprised to see Horizon pull this one back to a 4-4, and we go once again into overtime.
Yep, once again, we will be moving into that match point. This time, it's going to be in the other shoe, as you see Fable leading this time. And we are going to see that barbecue and kitchen, which I was expecting previously from Fable on their second defensive site. Again, we didn't see Horizon being able to defend the top floor to the side. Okay, it's not going to work. We need to bring out something big here. We need to go for our second pick bomb site, which is going to be at barbecue and kitchen, which is equally still a really good site if you do know how to play it well. Little thing I'm not seeing from Horizon is no castle being picked. Typically we'll see castle being used to lock down that entire geisha, and again also mirror windows could be played upstairs, which just helps it even more. But we only are going to see that one lone roamer playing upstairs, as I say that too early, as we see Tristan coming up once again, and possibly I would imagine Tumas is going to come up. Tumas is going to come up at some point to get a couple of kills for his team, and also possibly equal reaction, but we will see where it takes us.
The one thing I've been very, not so much disappointed, but surprised to see a lack of in Horizon is these runouts and rotations that we've got used to seeing. It's all been Fable, specifically Reaction, quite a few times now. And 8 kills, he had, of course, that 5K. But a couple of other rounds, he's gone for rotations and got crucial kills that have slowed Horizon down. They're not the same team that we saw just a second ago, which is really weird. Again, when they're the ones picking this map, they would be the ones you think would be the master of these runouts, knowing what kind of locations they can pull that run off in.
Typically, if you are going to go on heavy strata map, you're going to know exactly, okay, more than likely they're going to spawn at this side. That's probably going to then gear us up for this particular push. Let's put an impact tool here, which does give us then an aggressive run out to possibly counter that. But at the moment we do see Tumas getting a kill on the reaction. That's going to be a little bit of a trade back there, as they did see then Reaction pick up the kill on the Tumas last round. But then again, Twirl with that trade out does get the kill on the Tristan and does put it back on the level turn. And like we were talking about, the trade outs is always going to be a good sign off a good team if you are able to get then the level turns back in once again.
Still scrappy as all hell though, 4-4 so far the score. And of course, we were speaking about the buck on the previous map, equally as impactful here, being able to open up that floor and see that entry door. Definitely slowed down the attack from Fable. With 1 minute 15 left on the clock, they still got time to play with. But Horizon holding firm, not really dropping the angles that they've held thus far. And I'm wondering when the push comes in from Fable. We've seen teams make mistakes, Fable especially on the first map when they only had a few seconds left to play with. I would like to see them get a bit more proactive. They've got this Ying to bust their way into a point. And thus far, they're kind of staying from long range and just going for these pickoffs before they go for that big push.
I think Fable are still wary that somebody may be playing inside Geisha. Not the case at the moment, as we did see then the Bandit rotate down in through that kitchen drop hatch, which has been open for them, as we do see then Nasher get a kill on the Tumas. It's going to be the Ayla out of play, so now it is going to be down to the last 3 remaining defenders, Mira, Bandit, and also Smoke. Smoke still does a free gas canister. If he does use it right, then he will be able to slow this round out. But at the moment, Joker is playing very aggressive on this bomb site, which he is going to get another kill on the Nox. It's going to be a double headshot. And still he is going to try and play aggressive. This time it's going to be a Blackbeard beating him, so it's not going to be working out the same way. But 15 seconds on the clock. Let's see if... Whoa, what a shot by Twirl coming down from that drop hatch. Is going to push in with that Deagle, but instead is going to go for the plant. Nasher does have to cover him, however, as we are going to have Rum then push across. But then C4 is going to be tossed out, is going to miss, and now the plant has to stick, as now Rum can push in and get the easy shotgun kill on the Blackbeard, as Nasher almost did come in time, but he had to deal with 2 max first before he could push in towards that kitchen.
All right, so the reverse sweep is on the agenda, and Horizon are fighting their way back in. Fable, again, it was a bit of a slow round for them. They were panicking over someone still being engaged when there was no one there, and that really slowed their attack down, and they lost 2 members to trying to peek through that hole. You know, great play to be fair by Joker. He held that angle really well once again.
Yeah, that's one thing that once you do take control of that Geisha area, you then do have a little bit of time to start drawing out the bomb sites. Even if it's 30 seconds left, you still have at least 10-15 seconds, because it's only going to take you 5 seconds to push in and plant the bomb. which is away from most maps such as Chalet and Oregon, for example. So I'm quite surprised why they didn't do just right, okay, quick sweep of the bomb site so we'll know exactly where these defenders are playing, and then we'll know where not to go to, and then also where we can send our Slayers in to try and push and take the attraction away from that planter, which if they had droned out, then they would have known that Joker was playing there, which then that means Noxa could not get killed from that hard angle, and then it could have been a different round, and it could have been game set match for Fable.
Feels bad to be Max at the minute.
Yeah.
On 1 kill when Joker's strolling around on 10.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those kind of things that you hold over him for the next week now. Oh, sorry, who was the top killer, top fragger in Prem last week? And they'd be like, shut up, mate, come on. Yeah. Be nice, we're teammates.
Yeah, but how do you know what? That 1 kill could have been a decisive factor in a win or a lose.
It could have, like we said earlier on, we said a few times now, it's all about that scoreline that decides the map. It's not about how many kills you get, although equally, kills do have a pretty strong influence on whether or not you win a round. So understandably, it's a pretty good stat to keep a track of and to see how players are doing. Now, let's see how the attack goes for Horizon. 4-2, they cannot afford to lose a single round. So they've got to now win 2 rounds back-to-back, both this round and the next round. And Fable, the wind has been taking out their sails ever so slightly, it feels, despite having that 3-4 round stint where, especially for Reaction, going absolutely huge, super impressive stuff. But it's feeling a bit slower the last couple of rounds. Haven't really got that huge momentum on the go once more. I think they can get it back very, very quickly, though. All it takes is a couple of frags to go their way, and they are steaming on their way to victory.
This is going to be their tea room and karaoke once again, like we did see them defend previously. So this would like to favour them again. If they've done it once, they should be able to do it again. They do have Reaction playing again, another just a menace downstairs, but 2 maps with another opening kill.
On for Reaction, so there's going to be no superhero 5k this time, my friend.
So just looking at opening kills, that's probably one of my favourite stats because it really does show what Tumas does for his team. He's going to be that main man who does push in and does get that early pick, puts his team at a front foot, and then equally does put a bit of fear into Fable as they're going to say, that guy just killed our best player, I don't want to pick him. You don't want to pick him, I don't pick him. And yeah, it kind of goes from there.
And like I say, for some teams, as soon as they lose that one crucial, pivotal member of their comp, it's when it all starts to kind of fall apart. In this case, they're taking out the Ella, who's one of their key roamers, so they know that there is going to be considerably less aggression elsewhere on the map, and they can start pushing towards that bomb point sooner. However, 1 minute 40 is gone. There's only 1 minute 20 left to play in this round, and they aren't really threatening the point just yet, so they want to start moving soon. In fact, I think they jump into a bandit wire here if they're not careful.
Seems to be they're going to try and target this karaoke, which we have seen them do previously. They've got control of Geisha early on, about a minute 30 has control of Geisha, which is always going to be a great thing. But once again, we see more aggression coming out from Nasher. Tried to go for the C4, as then Tumas does fall back, throw a flashbang just to cover his retreat, and then does start to open up some anchor positions possibly. But then Nasher is going to get the kill on the Tumas, as I don't think he was expecting the Pulse to be sat there so aggressively. And now this is where Pulse is going to be very scary, as he does have that Pulse scanner and can start giving a lot of intel for his team to where the attackers are going to push in towards this bomb site.
And he has all that control downstairs as everyone else is upstairs at the minute. Every single member of Horizon is trying to push onto the bomb point. Understandably, with only 30 seconds left, that is 100% your ambition. But like I said, that Pulse being downstairs, destructible floors everywhere, you're going to have a bad time.
And let's not forget about the Echo, who is still up. Echo drone hasn't been shown yet. I don't think that Horizon know that there's going to be an Echo being played here.
Cameras. It's the second time he's missed taking out a camera.
It happens, it happens. Everything happens, but we do see then the push come in as Joker does get the down on the Rami previously, as Rami did also down the Blackbeard, but then Nox is going to get a kill on the Tumas. Nasher gets a kill on the Tristan. Noxa gets kill on the Rum, and then Joker gets kill on the Nasher. And then Twirl finally finished it off and gets kill on the Joker. Quite a mouthful of kills there, but nonetheless is going to be Fable finishing off the round, 5 rounds to 2, and each team are going to walk away with a point.
They are. And look at that scoreline coming through for Nasher and Joker, both having the games of their lives, it felt. Nothing else than Skyscraper. You got to say as well for Joker, that was one hell of a game.
Yeah.
That 5k will go down in history for the Prem, because that was
Reaction
beautiful.
had the 5k.
Yeah, sorry, Reaction, sorry. That was just a great
Definitely
game
MVP. I would definitely say that round was a big MVP for him.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That map was a lot closer, it felt, as well, than Border in terms of how the teams played between rounds.